we're just receiving new information from homicide detectives in the last few minutes. We're here on 31st Street and Martin Avenue, and neighbors here are just waking up, seeing the crime scene, and realizing that their street has been the scene of a deadly shooting. I want to step away for just a second so you can see where all this happened. More than a week after the fires, you can see the destruction that's left behind. It's difficult to believe that this used to be a bathroom. Now here, there used to be a shower. Right here, there was a hot tub, and over here was the sink. And right here on this spot where I'm standing in, this is where Vaughn's Vanity used to be, and this is where volunteers found perhaps the most valuable memory. On this Christmas Eve morning, these people here on Westmore Circle, the last thing that they were expecting, they tell me that they heard people running out of this home, asking them to call 911, yelling for help, and I want to show you what's happening exactly right now. People are getting special access to the training facility today, but with the change of ownership, all San Diegans will have more access to these facilities year-round. Republican Darrell Issa has held his congressional seat for 9 terms, but he won his last election by the thinnest of margins, making the 49th district a top target for Democrats. A huge crowd turned out in Vista to hear the 3 Democratic challengers speak. Real estate investor Paul Kerr highlighted his humble beginnings and tried to relate to the daily struggles voters face.
We must make college affordable for low-income and middle-class families.
Environmental lawyer Mike Levin talked about his history of progressive politics.
And I've actually worked across the aisle, both at the state and federal level, to pass clean energy legislation.
And retired Marine Colonel Doug Applegate, who was 1,600 votes shy of beating Congressman Issa last year.
I was always for single-payer health care. I lived in single-payer health care with TRICARE and the VA Medical Center, and we need that for all Americans.
After the debate, the voters weighed in.
But today, I think Doug Applegate really showed the experience that he's built in the past campaign.
Kerr, I think, has a way to go. He really has to dig in a little more.
There is a need for change in the type of representation, particularly that Latinos have.
We're still ways away from next year's election, but based on the huge crowd here, there's already a lot of political excitement here in the North County. In Vista, Ramon Galindo, NBC7.
It's shocking. I mean, there's just no words. It's just shocking. So, yeah, it's kind of undescribable.
Kim Isley could barely contain her emotion as she saw her father's nursery destroyed.
To see something that my dad has worked on for 30 years, just savaged, and savaged by something that we couldn't help is really hard.
One of the most painful parts of this disaster for the Isley family is knowing that some of their most beloved employees don't have a place to stay anymore. Natalie Olvera's father is the nursery manager and moved his family onto the property 4 years ago.
My mom said he grabbed the hose and was trying to stop it. And she didn't even leave him behind. Like, she grabbed the other hose and tried to stop it as well. And I could hear my dad just yelling at her, like, just leave. Like, I'll stop it, I'll stay behind. But she didn't want to leave him behind.
Days after the fire started, the family that lived here has come back to sift through the ashes. But as they return, they're finding nothing is left. Right now, they're going through what used to be a bedroom, trying to find any sort of memory of their past life here.
But we found it, that's what matters.
It's a Mickey Mouse.
The stench of smoke still strong in the air. The family reflects.
The dining room was right here. You can see the 4 metal chairs and the table. The fridge. There's nothing. Nothing left.
The disaster has tested the will of several families who rely on this nursery.
Just the fact that we're together, I'm happy. And whatever comes next, you know, we'll just rebuild all of us together.
It's gonna be a really hard road, but I know we can come together and do it.
Together they vow to keep working and to rebuild. In Bonsall, Ramon Galindo, NBC7.
Terrorists go after everybody, and my dad was threatened.
Those threats of violence forced 14-year-old Osama Abdulaziz and his family to leave their home in Baghdad. He's happy while playing soccer in El Cajon, but his family in Iraq is never far from his mind.
I remember that I was saying I was saying bye to all my cousins, my uncles. That was a really sad moment, because imagine leaving everybody you love and everybody you know behind.
Osama plays soccer every week with other refugee children. The games are organized by a local nonprofit, Yala. Many of the kids are from Iraq. Some come from other war-torn nations like Syria and Somalia. Many of these children still communicate with their families who live in war zones. And although they know their families are still in danger, it's programs like this that help them get away from the stresses of day-to-day life.
But our main focus is then to move them quickly from survival mode into thriving mode.
Sarah Cooper says Yala combines soccer and specialized tutoring.
Because this is 777.
It helps the children learn English and other skills to succeed in American schools.
These kids are going on to 4-year schools. They're going to come out as professionals. They're going to pay a lot of taxes.
Programs at Yala help you not just in soccer, but in school, in life, basically.
Like the rest of these children of war, Osama is hoping to live a long and successful life in his new home. In El Cajon, Ramon Galindo, NBC 7.